The Staccato CS versus the Glock 19. The Staccato CS and the Glock 19. Both great compact handguns, but today they're gonna go head to head against each other, and we're basically gonna be comparing them against each other and pros and cons in each field. That being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, show love to the channel, show love to the Instagram page, and let's get to the video. Up first, we're gonna talk about one of the biggest differences you notice when comparing these two handguns, that being the safety that's come with or in the handgun. The Glock 19, as you can see, has external safety and also internal safety. The internal we're not going to talk about too much, but the external is going to be on the trigger itself, and that basically is in a place so you have to deliberately squeeze the trigger in order to fire the handgun. You can't squeeze from either side, just the trigger. You have to deliberately and effectively pull that indent back towards the trigger in order to break that wall and fire the handgun. As for the CS, it's gonna be a little bit trickier. You're gonna have a grip safety and you're gonna have a manual safety on the CS as well, that helps you basically not indeed negligent discharge at all or accidental discharge at all. So that's in place. The way that works is the trigger, you won't be able to pull the trigger if both these safeties aren't engaged or off. For example, if I pull the grip safety and try to pull the trigger, it doesn't work. If the manual safety is not on and I don't engage the grip safety, the trigger will not work or will not engage. The weapon will not fire. It is not until the grip safety and the manual safety are both engaged / off will the gun fire. That being said, that makes this gun just a little bit more safer compared to the Glock because it has those safeties, those two external safeties that you both have to be engaged and manipulated in order to fire this weapon. Staying on topic of triggers, that leads us to our number 2 comparison in this video, which is going to be the triggers that comes with these handguns. So stock Glock comes with a trigger that is not great, as most people know. Most people switch out their triggers in their Glock for something else. Right now I have a Apex tactical trigger in it. It's nothing crazy, it just takes off a little bit of the pressure of the pounds of pressure you have to engage in order to fire this handgun. But it's still the same, you still have to engage the trigger deliberately for it to fire. It's super gritty, super, the wall super far. There's really no definite wall. It's more so it's gritty, and then it just shoots. So it takes a minute to get used to when shooting the Glock. As for the CS, since this is a higher class handgun, the trigger is very, very efficient. There's little to no wall on the CS. You're gonna have a hard time finding the wall on the CS because it's more so trigger, fire. There's no like wall. It's almost as if you take up all the slack out the trigger. It's very minute. You pull the trigger and it's there. There's not a real definitive wall almost, but reps with either one of these guns, you'll definitely find that quote unquote wall in the trigger in order to fire the handgun when you want it. Moving on to the third comparison in this video, it's gonna be the job of the handguns. So the primary job used for these handguns is gonna be concealed carry, or the job that's primarily used by these handguns is gonna be concealed carry. Staccato 2011 has specifically said on their website that the CS is primarily used for concealed carry, personal defense, which is great because it's slick, slim, it has the safety on it for extra precautions, but that's what it's used for. And we all know the Glock 19, the Glock 43X, is also being used as concealed carry guns because it's reliable and it's pretty cheap. So that being said, let's go into the pros and cons of each handgun and what they could be considered in concealed carry environment. Up first, we're gonna talk about the 2011, the CS, and speaking on it, it's not bad. I will say it's slim, it's lighter than the Glock, so the Glock 19, so you're not gonna have that weight pulling down on your pants depending on where you wear it. But one of the biggest things the two biggest things that we're going to talk about is the safety and the trigger. So with the CS, you have two different safeties that you have to engage slash turn off in order to fire this handgun. That being the grip safety and the manual safety. So if you are in some sort of danger or direct confrontation and you need to draw out the holster pretty fast, you will need to make sure you grip up on the gun to activate that grip safety, and then make sure that manual safety is off before the trigger can even fire. As previously said, if one is working without the other, the trigger won't fire, and you're going to be either sitting there trying to figure out why your gun didn't shoot, or possibly in worst cases injured or dead because you couldn't or didn't train hard enough to get your gun in the fight. The second biggest thing with this is going to be the trigger. Now, say you get your grip safety off, the manual safety is off. This trigger is gonna help you get those shots off very fast compared to your enemy or target, to where you can place more shots on target very fast. Moving on to the Glock, you don't have those problems with the safeties that I just talked about with the CS, so it's pretty easy to just draw from the holster, present rounds on target. The only other thing with this is it's a little bit heavier, it's gonna pull down on your pants, and the trigger is not super good, but I think most of us realize in a life or death situation, you're probably not gonna be thinking about that wall, you're probably gonna be smacking the trigger in the back of the gun and putting as many rounds downrange. We also like to see with both these handguns, they come with 15 round magazines. This is an extended base plate, but they both come with 15 round magazines. So whichever one you run, you will have at least 15 rounds to put down range before having a reload of the sort. That's a great additive for both these handguns. Now, the fourth thing we're talking about in this video, and the biggest difference when comparing these two handguns, is going to be the price point. Check out the video I just made on the STACCATO CS not too long ago, and I'll go over everything that the CS comes with and also why the price point is what it is, which is $2,500. With the $2,500, you get the manual safety, the grip safety, and that very efficient trigger that I talked about earlier, and also you're paying for that STACCATO 2011 brand. And with the Glock is coming in at $600. Glock 19 Gen 5, $600. Around $700 if you get it with an MOS slide. Now, with that $2,500, the STACCATO comes optic ready. You can throw an optic on it. As for the Glock, the two versions is MOS and without MOS. That $100 difference is what's gonna send you, get you that MOS slide for the optic cut. Now, why are they different prices, such huge prices, $2,000 difference to be exact? Well, the STACCATO, you're paying for that name as well. Also, it's going to be a little bit more time and money put into this handgun with building it and all the things that went into it. The trigger, the safeties, the grip. There's stuff that comes with this that doesn't come with these with the Glock, as far as the night sights and the optic height sights on the slide. The weight of it's a little bit lighter. The trigger, especially the grip on the handgun itself. And I also already mentioned the two safeties that come with it. Now with the Glock, you have nothing new here. Basic slide, regular iron sights on it, no grip on it. It comes as is. The trigger's not super great. The one thing I will say with the Glock is it's super accessory friendly, aftermarket friendly. So when comparing these two, just know that you're gonna have to pay $2,500, $2,000 more than the Glock before any other accessories get put into these. Now, with that being said, let's move right into how these two guns shoot. I'm gonna try not to be super biased when making this comparison because I do have a ton of more rounds downrange with the Glock, but we're gonna start off with the STACCATO. The STACCATO shooting it, I noticed that I have to put a little bit more grip and support into the gun with my left hand, my support hand, when shooting this, because it's just a little bit lighter compared to the Glock, which with this light on it, I think it's just a little bit heavier than this light as well. So it puts a lot of weight on the front end of this gun, whereas I can get my irons back on target a little bit faster. I also like the irons that come with the Glock a little bit more than I like that comes with the Staccato. Simply because the rear iron on the Glock has the definitive U shape in it where you can find the iron sight, the front iron sight very easily, very quickly. With the Staccato, the rear iron sight is a little bit smaller. So trying to find that front iron sight in all that and then finding your target through that as well, it's just a little bit more challenging for me personally. Also, I have noticed doing drills with these that it's hard getting in the habit of manipulating that manual safety on the 2011 that also comes with practice. I will say with the 2011, the CS, it shoots very smooth, very efficient. With that trigger, I don't feel like I'm trying to take up that wall, that slack out of the trigger. With the Glock. I could just squeeze the trigger, bang, 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 and get my shots on target. I mean, one of the first movement drills I did with the Staccato, I hit every target, or I hit every position, the target at every position on the first go with no practice, and I just felt as if the trigger did its job in that, and definitely me getting my irons on target helped a lot as well. So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, show love to the channel. Check out my video, the STACCATO CS. Check out the Instagram page. You know we do the videos of the copper drops, send the guns in. I'll let you know if I'm a cop it or drop it. Simple as that. And with all that being said, peace.